Welcome, folks, and welcome to another edition of Nigerian Players Abroad, where we'll take a look at what the Nigerian players, are doing across their clubs in Europe, and of course, even if they play in the MPFL, we'll talk about what they are doing as long as they play in the Super Eagles. And of course, this episode we have loads of guys who did well over the weekend, and of course, I have Michael, of course, Mikolo in the studio with me. We're dissecting critically. And there's some talking point as well. The CAF Awards is almost upon us, and a lot of talking point from Ekong to Diaz, playing for Real Madrid, and our own very own Ademola Lookman. But before we put our teeth to that, let me welcome Michael, into the studio. Michael, the international break, we saw a lot of players, a lot of, performances. So Ademola Lookman, we saw Boniface. And all of a sudden, after 1 week, we're seeing them continuing that trajectory and doing well for their club. How important is the form of a player in the club and coming back to play for the national team?
Hi guys, it's good to be back. I feel like for players that are opportune and fortunate to be able to play for both club and country, I feel like it's a great opportunity for them. And then I feel like it comes with great pride for you to be able to perform very well for your country. And then for our guys, we've been lucky enough to have some great players that perform for both country and for both club. And then I feel like it also gives us great pride as Nigerians to seeing players perform in the green and white colors and then go back to their clubs, and immediately we're hearing their names everywhere. Victor Boniface score here, Ademola Lookman is scoring here, Osimhen is making an assist here, and then it's just really beautiful as a Nigerian to see our players thriving abroad and also in the local leagues.
And let's talk about the rolling of Nigerian players, and start from the top of the shelf where we have Victor Boniface against Osimhen, 2 goals, 1 assist, and he has kicked off the season like last season. Remember, he won Rookie of the month, for several months, and this time around he has kicked off his scoring season with Leverkusen, and what away from home, 2 goals, 1 assist.
I feel like he's not slowing down. It was a very key player of Xabi Alonso's side last season. I feel like if you're counting like maybe very important players that contributed to them winning the league last season, Victor Boniface would eventually come in the top 5 because he scored some very important goals for them. And then it's very important and very exciting to see that they are back at it this season already. They're not slowing down. In leagues like the Bundesliga, you see a team just coming to grab it away from Bayern Munich, and then they go back to being, average. But then it doesn't look like that for Victor Boniface as well as his team, Bayer Leverkusen. And it's very interesting to see that he got 2 goals and an assist. Very beautiful goals at that, which are those goals were very, very technical goals. The assist for Ruiz as well and all of those things. And also, the one that has been taking over the internet, the celebration, the Sojino dance. And that was really, really nice from Victor Boniface.
And, talking about, Boniface, I talked about Bayer Leverkusen. Last season, he had a lengthy injury, layoff, and it looks like it was, later part of that season, later part of last season, looked like it was a shadow of himself, not really at that level anymore. But we can say it's back to that level.
Yeah, it was back to the level that it was before he got that injury. There was a time he was scoring goals for fun, getting, Player of the Month awards, and then in the first half of the season before he got that injury, and then I'm just so excited for him. He has found his form, and also let's not also forget the fact that when he came to the national team, he kind of like struggled a bit in both games that he started, and then to now go back to scoring for his club side, it means it has not affected him psychologically, and then we can always expect that he's going to play his best for Bayer Leverkusen, and when he's called upon again when we convene in October for the next set of qualifiers for Nigeria.
And let's talk about, Wilfred Ndidi. Last season we saw him under, Enzo Maresca. He played, a bit up, the midfield. This season he has started on that level again, and again he has provided 2 assists, for Leicester City against Crystal Palace, and look like, the Ndidi of, let me break it. Maybe I can break,
it's confusing you.
His form or his, how will I put it now? I don't know how to put it. His career. He started on this note, and in the middle of his career, even for this one, he started like doing it, look like he's not, maybe because they were in the championship or maybe because they are facing relegation. But now it looks like the whole Ndidi is back.
The midfield maestro.
And we saw him, at the, against the, in the AFCON qualifiers. And because he wasn't at the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
So we saw that World Cup qualifier, and again, we saw him against Crystal Palace. It looks like we are getting the hold in the back.
Yeah, I feel like for people like Ndidi, you would say maybe the older the merrier. For people, they usually say like, midfielders tend to like, regress with age. But for Ndidi, it's getting like kind of better, understand, with every game. And then now it feels like there's no way he cannot play. He's like such a very big link in the midfield, to the attacks. And it's very nice to see him adding the goal and assist to his games. You understand? Before, we've always known Ndidi. There was a time when he was in the Premier League, he was getting shout for the highest number of tackles, but he's showing us that there's more to his game than just tackles. There's more to the ball. There's more to him than just recovering the ball and just recovering and going into duels. Now he's making assists. He's getting into those places, into those positions. And that's very, very important for his team as well as for his confidence.
And for, Victor Osimhen, good to see him, back after the saga, with Napoli. Before May, he has not played any game, any competitive game, came to AFCON qualifier, got to go, and now back to Galatasaray, his debut, got, an assist. It was like a goal. Everybody were, already celebrating.
Yeah, I said it was a goal.
Until, we saw that it's an assist, but it's not a bad cameo, for Victor Osimhen. We saw the fans, he already has a song, with Galatasaray fan. He climbed the stands, there was a chant, and it looks like he has found a new love, a new happiness, and it could be, good for his career.
Yeah, I think sometimes we as fans, we tend to underestimate the part of psychological advantage in this player's career. When the player is happy, you can see it. It is very, very obvious. And, even after the game, irrespective of what happened in the game, he came out to post on his social media that the love alone is enough for him to want to put sweat and blood on the line. And then you could see it, Turkish fans, basically, they are always very, very outspoken, they are very loud and all of that. And then they showed so much support to him from when he was going in to sign, when he landed at the airport. And then now seeing that kind of love will spur him to do better. And then we know that the goals will soon start coming because he's playing, he's very happy. And this is the Osimhen that we know that wants to fight for everybody, that wants to fight for every chance. And then, it's nice that he's got an assist. We thought it was a goal, but it was an assist. But then we are very sure that the goals are going to keep racking in for Galatasaray every time.
And again, one player as well made his debut in Germany, talking about Frank Onyeka for Augsburg. And of course, created an assist. And it looks like, Frank is just his normal Frank. He did it well at Brentford. It looks like he's not going to be getting a lot of games this season. Now at Augsburg, and he has hit the ground running.
Yeah, I feel like moving to Augsburg is a testament of his ambition. There's some players that are fine with just, I'm playing in a big league and I'm sitting on the bench. It doesn't matter. But then for people like Frank Onyeka, the tank, he wants to play football and then he's going somewhere, played 83 minutes over the weekend with Augsburg, and then he definitely wants to show that he's made of more. And then I'm excited that he also got an assist. This is not something that happens so often sometimes, but then he got to play and he gets to play week in, week out now, and then we can see more of him. And then I'm just so excited for him in a new league and finding his foot that early into the season is really exciting for Frank Onyeka.
And of course, it's good for his confidence because, getting to a new terrain and getting assists in your first game for the club, it's actually, a confident booster ahead of the season. And before we leave, you are looking at this guy. I know they talk about something else, so I have to leave it to the last, talking point, talking about Ademola Lookman.
Ademola Lookman.
It was, maybe you have to write a petition to CAF because the goal against Rwanda could have been one of, that had to his goal tally, this season, but unfortunately it was chalked off. But look, let's talk about how confident from last season Ademola Lookman is playing now. We saw him at, the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. We have seen, what he did at AFCON qualifiers. And again, we saw what he's doing with Atlanta. It looks like a rebirth of this particular guy. And just 2 years, we're playing with the Super Eagles. Is not like a fan's favorite.
Yeah, definitely one of the fans' favorites in the team because of what he adds to the team. He gives his all into the games. And then I think one thing that you can always see from players, even from an outside perspective, is when they are playing with confidence. There's a type of take on. There's a type of strike. You're going to strike as a player. You know that this player is good. This player has the confidence to attempt this kind of things. And these are the kind of goals that Ademola has been scoring for us, from the AFCON to the qualifiers and even to Atlanta. The 3 goals in the Europa League final that he scored were not just mean goals. Yeah. And definitely it's very criminal if he doesn't win the CAF, he obviously has to win it because those quality of the goals, winning the Europa League, scoring week in and week out. I think he had 3 goals in the AFCON, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's also scored in the qualifiers. Very well taking goal as well in Uyo, against Benin Republic. And, he's on fire right now. And I just hope he can continue in that state. He has to be very consistent with that, to be able to continue Atlanta or get a very big move to a very bigger club.
And, before we leave, do you feel maybe with this form, it's high time for Atlanta? Because maybe players may give you like 2 years of this incredible form. Maybe it's high time they cash out and, make some money off him. And maybe even he makes a bigger move, for his career.
I feel like he's the kind of player that deserves to play in a very big club. He has the potential to do that. Atlanta, no disrespect to Atlanta, they've also won the Europa League, but there are also times, these clubs know their standings in the market, and then you can make big of it. There are clubs like Borussia Dortmund that, irrespective of the fact that they are, irrespective of the fact that they are competing, they want to also sell. So I think for Atlanta, they can cash in big now. It's out on the market. There are players, there are clubs that need players, and then I can obviously go for a very decent amount at this point in time. You saw Bologna in last season. They had a very, very nice season, and before you know it, they sold at least 2 of their players, moved for very big money. Calafiori moved, and then a couple of other players also moved. So for Atlanta, they can build on the success of last season, sell him, and then maybe buy a lesser player and then start to build away from there. It's very good for both Atlanta and for the player himself.
And that's it, for Ademola Lookman. I don't think, other, maybe, CAF should just rest other lists or other names on the list.
There's going to be a form of riot if anything happens to that.
No, we have to go to Egypt and put a placard if there's any funny thing, CAF are going to do.
Which I think we're also removing the fact that even if there's going to be a name to challenge Ademola from last season, it shouldn't even be the names that we are mentioning. Probably Victor Boniface.
And even if they take a look at maybe the metrics is the AFCON and Europe. For AFCON, you talk about Ekong, who's the MVP.
Yes, Brahim Diaz did not even play the AFCON.
We talk about Europe in a way. We talk about a player like Boniface, who was very key to their unbeaten run.
I don't know where the sources of Brahim Diaz is coming from. He has barely played 3 games for Morocco.
Maybe they don't pay the Smalley. Thank you for coming on the show, and that is Mikolo, dissecting Nigerian players playing abroad, and of course, like you said, from international break back to their club, and they continue to do the business of playing football. Hopefully, we're going to see them more in the of course, the European tournaments, talk about the Conference League, the Europa League, and as well as the Champions. Remember, Ademola Lookman will be playing against Arsenal.
Big one.
So he can
sell his market.
So the football never stops. Let's continue to enjoy. Let's continue to focus on our players playing abroad. Michael, Mikolo, thanks for coming in the studio. And that's all we have to take on the Nigerian players abroad. Till we come your way again, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dissects, turn on your notification button, and get our videos as it drop. Till we come your way again. Bye for now.